So I'm going to do some horoscope today. So we're going to start with the water signs. So just some advice and what to watch out for this coming week. Okay, so we've got 4 cards that come out. Alright, so we will start with the top one. Okay, so the top one, so this is for the water signs. Lies. So let's see what advice this has. So lies, trickster, help me, and friendship. I think that says it all, doesn't it? I think that says it all. So once again, this is for the water signs. Then we'll move on to the next. Well, okay, so it lies. So just be careful who tells you what, and use your discernment as to what is true and what is not. Who's being shady, sunglasses, who's wearing a mask. See who's being self-serving, I suppose, is the thing. So we've got trickster here. It's being mindful of manipulation. So when somebody's coming in to talk to you, as I said, use your discernment about what they're saying, I should say, who they're saying it about, and just be very, very careful, because this person is good at manipulating. They're good at mischief, and they know exactly what to say here. Now, we've got help me. So somebody might ask for your help out of this, but it's BS. They might want you to help them out of a situation, but it's BS. It's not at all something you should help them with, and it is not at all. It's not that it's not true, it's just seen through their lens, through their eyes, and basically, look at the picture, right? It's like it's the Exodus. So they're spewing verbal crap, like, you know, the vomiting scene. That's what they're doing, but with their words. And have faith in others, and if whoever they're talking about, maybe even approach them and see what their side is, okay? But I think they're going to come in with the, oh, poor me, help me, what's wrong with me, why do I always attract this type of thing, because of their own actions. So don't be fooled, okay? And this is obviously going to make a big difference in your friendship. It might even be make or break, so be aware of that one. I'll get one of these cards to top that off, and then we'll move on to the next. So just be very mindful of the manipulation. Okay. Healing isn't gentle, it's honest. So you might even see a side of this person that you weren't expecting, and it might help you heal very much so. So once again, just be very careful of what you believe, what is said and what you believe. Make sure that you're not going to get involved in something that doesn't concern you and that is not true. Okay, so now we're going to move on to air signs. Card for air signs, please, Spirit. Ooh, difficult. cute. I think you spit out another. No, they spit out more than that. Oh, okay. So you're in the same boat. Trickery. Or maybe you could be the trickster. Egg. This one might be a bit of a bad egg here. The call. Okay, so somebody's going to call here and... and dinner. Diner, sorry. Alright, so trickster, egg, sorry, trickster. So this is for air signs. Trickster, egg, the call, and diner. Right. Let's have a look at egg. Right. So, watch your back. Somebody's being manipulative, or maybe you're being manipulative. I don't know yet. I've got a funny feeling about this one. I'm not 100% sold on this one. Yeah, be careful of peering into the unknown. Living in fear may limit your potential. So you think that somebody is coming towards you in trickery, in manipulation, but they're not. But that's what you're fearing. You're afraid of somebody here. This is air signs. You are afraid someone's coming forwards. They're going to give you a call or make contact. And you're in fear of the manipulation, or they're going to try and manipulate you or ask you for something that's owed, or, you know, there's just something that you are in fear about, and it really is affecting your life, but you've got it all wrong. If you actually reached out to this person and you called them, you'd find out the situation isn't even what you think. So that's interesting. Okay. Let's see what this one has to say. This is very interesting. So you're living in fear over something that you've basically put in your own head here. So this is like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, yeah? So you are what you eat. Focus on suitable options. So basically, you are what you eat, and that's the same in your mind. What you're feeding your mind with this fear and this egg, you're doing your own head in. There's a situation at hand that needs dealing with. You're fearing this situation, thinking nothing but the worst, but it's not even the worst situation here. Maybe you need to make this call or reach out to this person and just have this chat, because in your head it's 10 times worse than what it even is. So that's very interesting. You're your own worst enemy at the moment, and that's not helping anything. You need to reach out and solve this situation so you can release this fear and live. Growth doesn't ask for permission, it disturbs. Exactly. Grow. Get uncomfortable, get into that uncomfortable conversation and grow. Stop sitting in fear. Make that phone call, make that contact, and you're going to find out it's nowhere as near as bad as what you think, and then you're going to let go of that fear, and you're going to be able to regrow. You're going to come back through those cracks. All right. So what next? So, let's go fire signs. So we've done water, air, now we're doing fire. Woo! Thank you, Spirit. Okay. Harvest. Midnight. And fire. Okay. Beautiful. A lot of blue. I'm noticing there's a lot of blue and a lot of red, but the blue is really popping out. The little grandma. Don't feed it after midnight. That's so funny. Okay. That's so cute. So fire signs. Harvest. Are you about to reap something? Is it good karma or bad karma? Harvest, okay. Children of the corn, we want to give you peace. Working together can bring great reward. Sharing a commitment in a cause, especially one that might seem a little corny to an outlander, can really bring in a group of people together. Okay, so it's asking you to work together. There might be a group project or a collaboration that you're thinking about or has come to your attention. And it's, by the looks, it is worth it. So if that is something playing on your mind, you didn't listen and now you see what happens. Okay, upright. Take comfort in doing what's responsible. Okay, so maybe this this commitment here, this collaboration, this group of people takes a lot of responsibility and commitment. Maybe you're not sure about that, or maybe you don't have the time for that. Let's see, what's this last card? I think maybe to me, I feel like there's a good collaboration coming. You feel like you want to be in it, or maybe you feel like you're stuck, like you've got yourself into something that maybe you can't get out of, like you've got a responsibility now, you have to do it. It all came down to something new will arise. Okay, so in this situation, you've definitely got yourself in a situation with a group of people, or a situation or a collaboration, or maybe somebody, but you have to stay in this situation. Now, this situation is to teach you that it wasn't to burn your whole life down or to make your whole life collapse. It was for you to learn. So maybe next time, before you commit to anything, anyone, or any situation, just think of the responsibility that comes with that, because this is obviously you're learning a lesson, or a lesson's coming from this, and it might be shaking your life up a little bit here. So it's really made you stop and think about, oh shit, I really got to think before I act, or I really got to think before I open my mouth and commit to anything, because I'm really stuck now. And this situation, like it says, the situation isn't there to destroy you, it's there to make you learn until something else new comes along. You tightened control until it snapped. Yeah, makes perfect sense. So now you're in this situation that you can't get out of, but you've got a responsibility and you've got to stick to it. Okay. What are we up to? Earth signs. I'd love for you to write in the comments what element you are, what your sign is. I'd love to get to know you a little bit better. So earth signs, what advice or what guidance do you have for the earth signs? Well. Way too many. What are you here? Ooh, devil, twins, and neighbours. Alrighty. Here, we won't take them because there's too many, but what's on the bottom? Okay, on the bottom, we'll stick with that, is harvest again. So group, or a, situation, several people, or you and just one other. All right, devil. Ooh. So this is for you, earth signs. Devil, devil, devil. Okay. As long as you are not hurting anyone, let it rip. Do as you will, free to be free of social restrictions. Feels like someone or something is worth believing in. But even law and faith seems to require to figure out a bare responsibility or whom we can blame for our misbehavior. At any rate, things certainly seem more entertaining when they're around. In the end, though, we must settle in our own accounts. Okay, so you might be in a group situation, friend group maybe, I'm thinking, comes to mind, and maybe you're just fooling around, being a bit of a, whatever, taking life easy, taking the easy road, just joking around and doing whatever, but just be mindful that you're not hurting anyone or nobody's getting offended here, because it feels like there might be an issue that might come from this. So just be mindful if you are just a prankster or a jokester and things like that. Just remember who you're fooling around with, because everybody's got different tolerance levels, yeah? So you don't want it to come back and bite you in the butt. So once again, just be mindful. As I said, if it's not hurting anyone, go for it. But if it is hurting people, then think about what you're doing beforehand. Yeah, empathizing work. Come play with us. You're trying. Consider the space you are inhabiting and the effect it has on others. Good energy can be neutral, arriving at the results of the effort. Bad energy may be inbuilt. Okay, so whoever you're hanging around, whatever you're doing, whatever you're playing up, whatever you're doing, it is telling you once again, watch, as I said, watch what you're doing and who you're doing it with and who you're doing it to, because you need to be empathic to the people around you. Like, you might think it's funny, but it may not be funny, right? So the last card for you, or the last of this, neighbours. This is really happening. This is not a dream. There really is a plot afoot. Okay. How well do you know your neighbours, flatmates or co-workers? And much more, how much do they know about us? Is it possible that they see us playing a role in the design of our lives which we are unaware of? Ooh, okay. So maybe it's just a case of whoever you're with, whatever your living situation is, maybe they've pegged you as a bit of a devil, a bit of a mischief maker. Maybe they're calling you, maybe they think that you've got a split personality. Maybe they've pegged you into a hole that you're not, or maybe your behaviours, that's all they see is, and they're calling you out for your shit. Or if this someone that you're living with or someone around that thinks that you're this energy, they might be starting to do something behind your back. They might be a bit two-faced here. So please be extremely mindful of that. So just remind yourself and be very much aware of how you represent yourself and how you come across to others. And that's way too many. We will stick with these two. Once again, you've tightened control until you snapped. So there's definitely a situation at hand here where your energy has possibly been too much, or it's possibly pushing someone to snap. And caring deeply makes the lesson sharper. So once again, watch your energy, watch how you present yourself and how you're treating others. And if you're the one that you feel is being mistreated and it's the vice versa, keep a close eye on what they're doing, because they might be being a bit of a trickster on you. So once again, still watch how you behave, watch your P's and Q's, and just be very mindful of this other person, because they seem the neighbours or your flatmates or whoever it is seem to be very, very sensitive. So that's for you, Earth signs. So be mindful of that, yeah? All right, so that's the horoscopes, and now I'm just going to go do a normal read and see what comes out.